Hocus Pocus. Today I want to teach you about area. What am I teaching you about?
Area.
I want you to go ahead and be copycat for a moment. So mirrors.
Mirrors.
And repeat after me. You're going to say area.
Area.
The space inside.
The space inside.
For the space inside.
For the space inside.
We multiply.
We multiply.
I bet you guys can do that kind of with me this time instead of repeating it. You ready?
I bet you guys.
Areas, the space inside, for the space inside, we multiply. There's off. So we're done copycatting. That is our new key word, and the word is area. And it really is the space inside of objects. Now, for us in third grade getting started, we're only going to find the area of rectangles. What shapes are we using?
Rectangle.
That includes any box shape. A square or a rectangle, as long as it's got 4 straight sides. Capiche? So, if I had my classroom, and my classroom is, let's say that it's like 15, well, let's pretend a smaller space because holy cow, that'd be a lot of multiplying. If my classroom were 8 feet wide and 10 feet long, then the area of my classroom would be how much space it's filling it. Essentially, it'd be like, hey,
80.
how many square feet is my floor? Right now our hands are quiet, okay? So we can be listening. And I can think of it just like this. Check this out. If I draw this out, and I know that there's 8 feet wide, I want to show you. You're going to be looking for a particular type of shape here. Someone say rectangles. Be patient, young Padawans. It's going to be more than just rectangles.
Squares. Squares and rectangles. A quilt. I guess it's just squares. Squares. Square. We just
What shapes just filled that?
Squares.
They're squares. They're totally squares. And so when we're measuring area, we have a fancy label. Are you ready to hear it?
Yeah.
My fancy label is square units. What is my label?
Square units.
Now, that means just like one square. A unit is just one thing. And so if I ask you, what is the area of this? You could count all of these squares and tell me how many square units. How many of you think that would be fun if I had you spend the entire math giving you big problems like this, counting individual squares? Does that sound like fun or kind of a waste of your time?
Waste my time.
To me, I would be like, yo, okay, Mrs. Schultz, I think I know how to count squares. That sounds like it takes a long time. Would you agree? So, we have a trick that makes it much, much, much faster. We're going to come back to this one, but I want to show you with a smaller shape how to find the area. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
The area of a rectangular shape is the number of square units that fit inside. So if I give you a smaller rectangle like this, and I have 3 equal squares inside of it, what would the area of that rectangle be? Emerson.
3
square
units.
And that's my shortcut for square units. You guys like shortcuts, right?
No.
Yeah. It is also a 1. It's only 1 square tall. How many squares wide is it?
3.
So it's a 1 by 3, and 1 times 3 equals
3.
3 square units. So let's try with a bigger one. Please stand up.
Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Probably be like a 9 times. Wait, that's a little bit bigger.
Now this rectangle, oh my Lanta, I've got 3 friends who didn't follow directions. I'm going to give you 2 more seconds to be there. 2, 1. Much better. Okay. This rectangle is 2 squares tall, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares wide. So if it's 2 by 5, does anybody have a guess for how many square units that will be? Braylon? Brielle, sorry. 2 by 5.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and count by 2s 5 times. Ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's going to be 10, right? 10 square units. Now, I'm just telling you something new, and that seems kind of random, right? So, what I want you to do is silently point and count in your brains with me. Because you're going to jab your finger as I touch the squares and be counting up in your head. We're going to actually count these squares to see if there really are 10. Like if we multiply it. So you got to be standing so you can see. Ready to jab and count silently with me? You guys are the least silent counters I've ever heard. Goodness. Go ahead, let's whisper count. Are you ready? I'll erase these and we'll go start from 0 again. But it's gonna be a whisper. Are you ready? Were there 10? Hey, sit down. Oh, my online friends don't really want to wait for you guys to turn your sidebars off, so that's why we just do those quick ones, right? Quick transitions. When we're finding our square units, we can count all of the squares, or we can multiply the sides. So, Eli, if I gave you a problem that was this big, would you rather count up all of these squares, or do you think you could do 8 times 10 pretty speedy? Oh, so you double check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So he's gonna count by tens. How many times? 8 times. Let's go ahead and do that. 10, 30,
40, 50, 60, 70, 80,
Okay.
90.
8 times, which is 80. So what would the area in square units? What would the area of this shape be?
80 square units.
It would be 80 square units. So if I asked you, like, hey friends, you know, like I've got this shape, like my piece of paper. Let's say I'm talking about this piece of paper. And I asked you, could somebody tell me the area of this shape? Think about that little rhyme. If I asked you to find the area of this, what are you finding? Who can tell me? Do I want to know how long it is? Do I want to know how many there are? Do I want to know how much space is inside of it? What am I asking for if I ask you to find the area, Madison? What is area? Is it a length? Is it how many? Is it the space inside? It's the space inside because, friends, areas, the space inside, or the space inside, we multiply. Zombies in the house. I need to hear that from you. What is area? Areas.
It's multiplying. Multiply.
This is the last one. I want to hear you guys say that right. Are you ready?
Yes, we
Get your hand ready because you're going to do it for me. Addison, you ready? Areas, the space inside. Space inside, we multiply. Okay. Online friends, I hope that you're more awake today. But that rhyme is going to help us. Whenever I ask for the area, you're figuring out how many square units, and they have to be squares that are the same size. How many of those squares can fit inside the object? Capiche? All right.